we will call the May 13th, 2024 Oak Park Board of Education meeting to order. And the time is 7:03. I'm 3 minutes late. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark. Here. Copeland.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Elmer.
Here.
Hoda.
Here.
Madison.
Here.
And Smith.
Here. Okay, we do in fact have a quorum. We'll go to recitation of the district mission and vision. And Trustee Clark, our soon-to-be graduate, is willing, able, and smiling. So go ahead, Trustee Clark.
Our mission is to create an inclusive learning community that provides the best academic and social experience by educating the whole child, one child at a time. Our vision is cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens engaged in the global community.
Thank you. Very good. We go to item 3, approval of the agenda. The agenda was provided prior to today's meeting. Without objection, pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the agenda is hereby approved. We go to item 4, approval of consent agenda, which includes 3 items: the minutes from the last meeting, personnel actions, and financial statements. Is there any issue with any of these items? Okay, without objection, to pass a motion to approve the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the consent agenda is hereby approved. Mr. Dillard, anything? Or you wanna?
I'll do it for the superintendent's report.
Okay, so should I wait for you?
Yep.
Okay, very good. And then we will go then to item number 5, 2021 bond program update. We have with us Mr. Paul Wills from Plant Moran. Is it Crescent or Plant Moran?
It's actually Real Point, but yes, Plant Moran.
Oh man, we got too many names. I can't keep it. From Plant Moran, and Mr. Wills, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, President Alvin, and good evening, board members, administrators. We'll wait for this to load up, but in your board packet, you do have the PowerPoint that will be presented here this evening relative to the update of the 2021 bond program. Extended. There we go. All right. So, in your board packet, you do have, close. There we go. So tonight's presentation is just an overview of the bond program itself. As President Alvin mentioned, this was passed in the 2021 bond timeframe. A lot of great work's happened over several years. We're actually here to help present some of those upcoming bond projects that will be looked at from the board's perspective in July and this August. Then obviously we'll get into any financial questions as we go through there. So real quickly, back in May 24, so it's already been several years since the voters approved a $54.4 million bond program. With that bond program was heating, ventilation, air conditioning at the elementary schools, middle school, and high schools. There was also temperature controls replacements, electrical components to really help support that going forward, safety, security, technology enhancements, but also renovation of underutilized facilities and spaces. We'll take a little bit of look going for there. So the good news is it was over 3 series. When you take a look, the first 2 columns, that's your first series of bonds. So $17,430,000 was issued right after the bond had passed. Congratulations, you completed all that work in less than 3 years, so that's in compliance with the Department of Treasury guidelines. Right now, you're in the middle of Series 2, which is about $16.2 million. So about $7 million is taking place right now at the high school and OPA in terms of mechanical, electrical replacements. I don't know if you saw a crane over the weekend. Pretty exciting stuff. Watch them deliver those mechanical units. And really what we're going to talk about tonight is this 3rd series, the $22 million, of what that means of finishing up the high school OPA, as well as what's happening at NOVA and also the high school training center going forward. So from the work completed standpoint, Those teachers, students, parents that have been in Einstein, Key and Pepper have seen upgrades in the classrooms with the VERT univentilators. It's on a controlled system now, so facilities can take a look at it. It's helping reduce your operational costs from that perspective. Again, rooftop units which were replaced the 22-23 school year. But most importantly, the district was able to use some ESSER funds to pre-purchase mechanical equipment. So you may hear in the news like some districts are still waiting for those mechanical units. Well, congratulations to Oak Park and the foresight to purchase them so they're readily available. So again, kudos to the administration team and the board for accelerating those programs. Scope of Works Phase 2, again, as I mentioned, it's the second year of the high school and at OPA. Again, one of the things you're going to see here is a lot of abatement work. So again, a lot of the facilities were built in the 50s and the 60s, getting rid of the asbestos. A lot of the mechanical demolitions. So if you think of the old boilers, they're the size of like a train engine. These new ones are literally like the size of a large refrigerator. It'll be great to, again, work with the administration to bring the board sometime later in the spring, summer and fall to maybe do some board tours to see some of the work. And then lastly, electrical conduit runs, again, working with the facilities team, bringing new services. So the good news is the Oak Park was designated by DET to receive the new transformer. I know there's other districts that are still waiting, so again, congratulations to the hard work administration and the bond team to help ensure that gets delivered and is up and running for the start of next year's school. So we're going to switch gears to scope of Phase 3. So the last two projects of the bond is going to be NOVA, the Freshman Institute. A lot of mechanical upgrades, a lot of plumbing upgrades, a lot of rooftops, and again, classroom unit ventilators. But very excitingly is the fitness center. So for those board members that were in the bond planning phase, I don't know if you remember touring the old tunnels underneath the pool. It was determined that let's fill that and create an athletic center. So we're actually here to present kind of the next steps of that process going forward. Really, that's helping secure that last goal of helping underutilized spaces going forward. So the first one we're going to talk about is NOVA. Again, Freshman Institute, about $9.4 million, so it's a large mechanical, electrical, plumbing. We're actually going to go out for bids based on kind of acknowledgement from the board this evening. We'll be back in July for a reading and then approval of those bids, allowing the district's team to look at those bidders and come together with a recommendation going forward. Again, the work itself will actually take place in the summer of 25 and 26 because it takes that long to get those mechanical, electrical units that are above and beyond the initial purchases going forward. So what the parents will see is a lot of new ceilings, a lot of new mechanical units in the classrooms and in the general core spaces and other interior improvements going forward. Then lastly, what we have is the training center. So again, on the upper part of your screen, you see the large beige space. That's the pool area currently. It'll be filled in, so it'll be leveled with concrete. There's several other examples of other districts that have done that. Woodhaven, Van Buren, Bloomfield have all created these field training centers as part of their overall existing structures. There's a weight room on the south. There's also some classrooms on the north. We're also going to look at considerations for alternates of the locker room renovation. So again, some of the strategy is when do we should bid this out, what can be included as base bid, but ultimately give the board information to make informed decisions as we go forward that. So again, that's the high school training center. One other cool aspect is there's going to be indoor walking track. So again, it'll be a secondary level so people can practice on the first level, go upstairs and do laps, and help support maybe some of the training and running programs they have here at the district. So lastly, financial summaries. On the left-hand side, you'll see the projects that are completed. So again, Bid Pack 1, which is Einstein, Pepper, and Key, about $5.5 million worth of work was completed. Bid Pack 2, which is the D wing, for about $1.2 million. Also Bid Pack 5, food services. So again, generators and other equipment for that perspective going forward. Again, what's in process is the high school phase 2 and then OPA. Got about $19 million worth of work going on between this summer and next summer. And then lastly, you'll see NOVA and Training Center. That right there is about $15 to $16 million going forward. So when you combine all the use of funds, again, ESSER funds, food services, and the bond, it's about a $58 million program. And we're just here to have you present. We're actually at a schedule of getting everything done by the summer of 2026. More importantly, you're on budget going forward. So what are those next steps? As I mentioned, based on tonight's feedback from the board, working through the administration team is, again, we'd like to proceed with NOVA. About 3 to 4 weeks later, we're going to bid out the training center. What that allows the district to do is look at where does the bids come in from NOVA and say, can we add other things to the training center project as base bid versus alternate? So that's some of the strategies. So again, the thought would be is bid out Nova, we'd come back to the board again in July. And about 3 or 4 weeks later, we'd bid out the training center. In August, we'd come back to the board with a review and approval of those bids as well. As mentioned, from a construction standpoint, the best part about the training center is unoccupied space. So in theory, we can start that sooner than later versus waiting until the summer. And then obviously, we mentioned Nova, just the number of abatement and some of those other projects, looking to do that in the summer of 25 and 26. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to President Alvin, the board, for any questions, thoughts, comments.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Wills? Any questions?
I have, go ahead.
Trustee Crawford.
Okay, I know that you were speaking of the air conditioner units with the crane and things, but I had the question about the classrooms at Einstein. Are those units still large there in those classrooms?
Yeah, those are the vertical unit ventilators you're
Yeah,
referring? Yes.
because you mentioned that the larger ones were gonna be as small as a refrigerator.
That's actually the boiler room, yeah, correct. Yeah, so the
Yeah.
classrooms, those are a lot larger than just a refrigerator. Those are probably 4.5 by 5 feet. But again, they provide
Okay, yeah, I was
classroom
trying to,
dedicated spaces so that way you're not relying on.
because I was wondering
Understand.
what size refrigerator were you thinking about? Because I
No,
know
no.
those are much larger.
No, yeah. Yeah, so like I said, I heavily encourage, like I said, when we start in this, in the fall time frames, look at the old boilers that are coming out and some of the new boilers they're putting in. But you're right, Trustee Corporate, and the unit ventilators in the classroom are larger than your standard refrigerator.
Copy.
Trustee Brennan.
So I want to talk a little bit about the financial overview. So when we originally went out for this bond in 2018, right, we had construction costs for one thing. Once we started doing the construction costs were a whole different thing. And now I would imagine we're in a different place than we were in 2020, 2021.
Yep.
How have those differences impacted the budget? And more importantly, we've those estimates of, we were thought to be over budget at one point. Now you're saying we're right on schedule even with the cost of the training center. So tell us more how
Sure.
that happened.
So we actually planned the bond in 2020. We actually had an escalator, anticipating some cost escalations, obviously. We were coming out of COVID, if you will. I know a lot of those virtual meetings we had, separation, walkthroughs, et cetera. The one thing that did help, though, is the ESSER funds that the district did receive from the state through the feds. Roughly $5.5 million could then be allocated for mechanical units, kitchen equipment, things that help the students, which helped some of those increases. Trustee Watt. But more importantly is the district pre-purchased about $5.5 million, so they saved 23, 24 escalation costs of those units. The other thing too is the sinking fund. So again, part of that was used for some of the roofing programs previously. So that's why the full budget's about $58 million versus the $54.4 that you see.
But then there was also the actual cost of the bonds, right? Because interest rates changed so
Yeah,
dramatically.
sure, interest earnings, like this past year, a lot different than they were in 22, 23. So again, working with the finance department and administration team, we'd be more than happy to kind of show you what those interest were for the bond.
Because the original thought in 2020, when we were planning this out, was to sell those bonds
On 3 series.
on
Yep.
3 series, right?
Yes.
And so, but obviously we didn't anticipate COVID.
38%, right?
Right, and so how did that affect us?
Like I said, up on your slide, on slide 5 in your board packet, you'll see the 3 series. Again, the 17.4 million was about 430,000 more than was originally anticipated. So again, we sold the bonds at the right time, so we actually had a par value for those. The 16.2 million was issued, and we're anticipating the 22 million to be issued in the spring. And again, some of that goes back to what are the interest rates. So in 21, 20, they were quarter point, now they're 3 to 5%. So again, work with the superintendent's office, your financial advisor, what does that 3rd series look like? That'll really be the true telling of, okay, we've issued the bonds, and now we have our bids, and we give you the full picture. But right now, we're tracking at the $58 million.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions for Ms. Wills? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Wills, much appreciated.
Thank you.
All right, this takes us to our reports, and we have one report that's bifurcated into 2 parts from our superintendent, Mr. Dooley.
Thank you, President Alvin, and
This way.
Okay, let's go to the microphone. All right.
Well, you know, we don't want people to get used to that, so. So I know how Oak Park does things slightly different with the personnel action report that's approved, but speaking with President Alvin, I did request that I have this time to recognize each individual today and recognize them for their promotions. So if I could have Miss Murphy come on up. All right. She helped write her own bio here, so I'm going to say what I have to say. So, ladies and gentlemen of the school board, it is my honor to introduce Shana Murphy, a dedicated educator with nearly 17 years of experience in the field of education. Shana's journey in education began with a strong foundation, culminating in her achievement of a master's degree in curriculum and instruction. Her passion for serving underserved communities have been a guiding force through her career. Miss Murphy's diverse roles in education reflects her commitment to a holistic improvement within the education system. She has served as a teacher, curriculum coordinator, dean of instruction, and principal of 2 schools. Most recently, Miss Murphy has served as a principal of Key Elementary, one of the best. They produce some of the best people, not being biased here, for the past 3 years. This breadth of experience has equipped her with a comprehensive understanding of educational dynamics at various levels. What sets Miss Murphy apart is her unwavering passion for teaching and learning. She believes in the transformative power of education and is dedicated to fostering an environment where every student can thrive. Her focus on curriculum and instruction ensures that educational practices are not only effective, but also reflective of the needs of the community. Her passion for teaching and learning, coupled with her strong understanding of curriculum development and instructional strategies, make her a valuable asset to our district. We are confident that under her leadership and work alongside our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, our curriculum will continue to evolve to meet the needs of a diverse student body. Ms. Murphy embodies the value of dedication, leadership, and deep-seated commitment to educational excellence. It is with great honor and confidence that I present her to you today, knowing that she will continue to make positive impact on the lives of students at Oak Park Schools. And in the little 2-year time that I have working with Miss Murphy, very seldom do I see leadership in action and thrive and grow. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. And to see Miss Murphy's leadership, I mean, she's everywhere. Everything that we ask her to do, she does without any complaining. You know, so most recently I asked her to sit on the Curriculum and Instruction Committee at Oakland Schools. You think she complained? Nope. In dealing with a superintendent that's always pushing, you know, I don't hear a complaint. Just, all I hear is just be patient. I just be patient. So, you will see her one day as a superintendent. That's how confident I am in Ms. Murphy. That's the kind of attributes that she has and she represents. She has a strong understanding of curriculum instruction, building rapport with staff, having staff buying in. Those are huge in the educational field. A lot of people have one strength, whether it's finance or teaching and learning. Very seldom do you see someone who embodies it all. Miss Murphy has that. So I present you our new curriculum director, Miss Our goal was to make her cry. I don't know.
And then, Oak Park sweater with the 18, established in 2022.
There's no crying in education.
So after we're done, if we could take a few moments just to take pictures so we don't hold up the meeting. So congratulations. I worked Miss Murphy, Miss North all weekend. You better make it right, Miss North. So she was working all weekend, shopping around, getting everything. So this is only the beginning. Congratulations. All right. All right. Well, now that we have a vacancy at Key, which produces, what did I say, produces some of the best. What's the name of the address?
Oh, 23400.
23400 Jerome. Not saying any of us went there 35 years ago, but I did. So, now that we have a vacancy, I would like to present you Mr. Miller Prince as the new key principal. All right. So she also wrote her own bio. And then I'll say, Miss Prince is an accomplished and dedicated educator with a passion for fostering student success and driving positive change within the educational community. DeMilla earned her Bachelor's of Science in Elementary Education and a Master's in Educational Leadership at Oakland University. Ms. Prince began her career as a fourth grade teacher at Pontiac Academy of Excellence, where she was nominated and won the Teacher of the Year award. Over the past 11 years, Ms. Prince has cultivated, I can't say that word, I have to say it, pedagogical skills, and developed innovative teaching methods to engage students of diverse backgrounds and learning styles. For the past 7 years, DeMilla has been with the Oak Park School District. Here she has served as an ELA teacher, content area lead teacher, dean of culture, and is currently the assistant principal at Oak Park Preparatory Academy. Ms. Prince is a vital asset to the positive change that has taken place at Oak Park Prep and at Oak Park Schools, and is an inspiration to all who encounter her contagious positive energy. She's not only a dynamic educator, she is a vibrant and impactful facilitator of an outstanding mentorship program, Ladies of Hope, which she co-founded 7 years ago. On January 21st, 2019, she was awarded the Keeper of the Promise Award from Oak Park Schools. This highly selective honor is given to one teacher in the district that has planned, coordinated, and implemented a program that positively impacts students and or staff in the district. The program must include a community service project that seeks to promote cultural awareness, diversity, and equality. DeMilla was nominated for this award based on her high work ethic, demonstrated leadership, interpersonal skills, and continuous work on behalf of equity and excellence in our school community, driven by a deep-seated belief in the transformative power of education. Ms. Prince is committed to fostering a school culture that celebrates diversity, encourages creativity, and prioritizes student well-being. She believes in the importance of creating a supportive and inclusive learning environment where every student feels valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential. DeMilla is also the recipient of the Channel 4 Live in the D, Our Teacher Rock Award. Ms. Prince is a member of the proud, I know, prestigious Pontiac alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She also serves as a youth director at Trinity Missionary Baptist Church in Pontiac. And as a cancer survivor and a person committed to living life to the fullest, DeMilla enjoys spending time with her family, traveling and inspiring youth to maximize their full potential. What captured me was my first year here when we had the 8th grade promotion ceremony. And I was new, and I seen this young lady come up, and I had chills. I'm like, wow, who is this girl? Because you kind of seen it all in education. And then as she's talking, she had this glow. I got chills just talking about it. She had this glow. She's going to be a leader. It's my job to set people up for success and then allow them to grow and flourish. She's going to be one of these leaders in the future. It is so rare to find leaders in our community that is a representation of our student body. Very rare. I see it all the time when I sit around other superintendents. I just look around. And to see others just grow and thrive, I almost feel like I'm cheating the system. Because I'm like, you guys don't know what you're missing out on. And so, I know you're going to represent Oak Park well. I know you're going to rock it. You will see me off, riding into the sunset, you and Miss Murphy and everyone else. But I know sky's the limit, so congratulations.
Your card to welcome you to the 18. And then your welcome to the team.
Just remember, whatever shirts you buy, whatever swag, you get one for the superintendent. And the last thing that I have, President Alvin, is just as you see some things shuffle, we are restructuring our organizational chart, our central office. We're shuffling people around, and so just so you see, and then we'll share with the board our organizational chart before we share it publicly. But these are some of the things that we've been talking about. I am not sure about a lot of things, but these two ladies, I'm absolutely 100% sure on. I yield it back to you, President.
I'm gonna speak on behalf of the board, and they can say what they want, but congratulations to both Ms. Prince and Ms. Holden Murphy. Mrs. Holden Murphy, that's a married woman. I'm going to say it like Ike said, that's a married woman. Listen, I do that all the time to my wife. Never mind, y'all gotta be here. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations to both of them. Certainly very happy and proud day for the district to have both of them promoted. Mrs. Holden Murphy, I just would like you to know that you have a new address now. So, There you go, 13,900 grants in. But yeah, obviously, we're all very proud to see some of our people grow from within and escalate to higher levels of leadership. So I don't know if anybody else has anything to say.
Ditto.
Trustee Williams.
Welcome back to central office.
Yeah.
As the president said, it really is so wonderful to see the growth in what you're able to offer our district and our students and our community. So thank you so much to both of our new they're not new hires, of our people in new positions, and we're really excited to grow along with our district.
For sure.
Trustee Madison. You sure?
No, I can't.
Okay, all right.
Tissues.
All right, never mind.
She tried.
Just two other quick things. One, you can tell,
Can't do
by the support of the rest of the team here, how much the two of you are beloved and the work that you've done, and how much they appreciate you guys. And so that is very telling for us. And couldn't have been more proud to have signed a couple contracts today. So we'll pass those over. What we're going to do, we'll take a 4-minute recess to allow you all to do pictures, whatever it is you want to do, and then we will get back to the meeting at hand. Does that work for you? Okay. 4 minutes.
I know.
Public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board with understanding that board members will not be able to respond. Trustee Davis, can you please read the public comment guidelines?
Perfect timing. Whew, okay.
You good?
I got it,
Okay.
right. Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comment on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on a topic or issue and not directed at specific personnel or board members. And I am not in receipt of any public comment cards.
Okay, and I don't see any members of the public in the room, but I'll just ask, for the sake of doing so, are there any members of the public who wish to address the board? Seeing and hearing none, we will go to item 8, action item support of ISD budget, intermediate school district 2024-25. Trustee Smith, would you mind?
Yes. Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education has received and reviewed the proposed intermediate school district budget in accordance with Section 624 of the revised school code, and by the adoption of this resolution, expresses its support for the proposed ISD intermediate school district budget for the 2024-2025 school year.
Support.
Motion made by Trustee Smith, seconded by Trustee Hoyt. Are there any questions on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Madison,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
and Copeland.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go to item 8B, 2024 Open School Board of Education, 2024. Trustee Hoyt, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes, so taking a look at the different candidates who have filed for the role of Board of Education at Oakland Schools, there's one incumbent that's running, Mark Katz, who was previously a board member in Berkeley School District, has really been a leader in our area through OCSBA and the Government Relations Committee, and it has really provided a lot of friendship to Oak Park over the years. Another candidate that is listed here, that the other 3 candidates are all not incumbents, and one that I think, based on what we have been able to find out, is the candidate W. Samino Scott. Dr. Scott is a leader in the Pontiac community, leads the Pontiac Collective Impact Partnership, wrote his PhD on looking at African American male high school students and how their family, let me get this right. How the intersection of family, school, and society on the college choice decision-making process for African American male high school students. I think his background and leadership really speak to an understanding of the issues that are unique in our district, and bringing that voice to open schools would serve our district well. And so I would suggest that we vote for Mark Katz and for W. Samino Scott.
Any other
Abs-
thoughts?
I was just going to piggyback on what he said in regards to Dr. Scott. I actually did a little background check myself coming out of the Pontiac Spectre or the Pontiac community. This gentleman has had his hands in everything dealing with such as like United Way. He's basically, to me, a leader of understanding of education as well. That was all.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Put this in a motion.
I think they're on motion.
That's the full.
Yeah, so resolve that the Oak Park Board of Education supports candidate Mark Katz and candidate W. Samino Scott, and that the board directs its representatives to vote for candidates Mark Katz and Samino Scott, at least in the first ballot taken at the June 3rd, 2024 election.
Support.
Motion made by trustee Hoyer, supported by trustee Smith. Is there any question on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Colvin,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes,
Madison,
Yes.
and Smith.
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries.
we do need to designate a
That's the second part. So, nomination to select an OPS Board of Education trustee to cast a vote. Is there, first of all, you,
I'm checking my calendar.
okay.
Can you finish what you're saying?
We need an individual to go on Monday, June 3rd, 7:30, to cast the ballots
I'm available.
that we just discussed. And trustee Hoyer noted that he is available on this.
Yeah, I'm available also. On the 3rd of June.
Yeah. Is there, we only need one, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so is there a motion, anyone?
There is actually a recommended motion here.
Okay, we need, and if you're gonna put a name in it, go forth and conquer.
Okay. The board designates trustee Malcolm Hoyter as its representative and trustee Dawn Corcoran as its alternate representative to serve on the 2024 electoral body responsible for electing members to the Oakland Schools Intermediate School District Board of Education. The board supports candidate Hoyter and candidate, excuse me. Katz and Scott, excuse me. Right. The board supports candidate Katz and Scott. The board directs its representative Hoyter to vote for the candidate Katz and Scott, at least in the first ballot taken at the June 3rd, 2024 election.
Second.
Motion made by Smith, we will not ask you to read that again. Seconded by trustee
Talking about that.
There's a whole lot of names on that. Ms. Griffin, call the roll.
Hoda,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Alvin,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. I do note that we have a call for closed session, but the closed session doesn't take place until after the information items, the information item 9A. So I'm wondering if there is an objection for us going through information item 9A and then going in the closed session to handle 9B. Is there an objection to us doing it that way? Okay, so could we then here go to information item 9A, map assessment, contract 1-year extension with iReady, NWEA 9-1 map assessment. Can we do that now?
Yes, sir. Sure. Greetings, President Alvin and our distinguished board members. So our informational here is pertaining to our MAP assessment, and currently we use iReady. And our MAP assessment, that stands for Measures Academic Progress. So that's the assessment that we give 3 times a year. It's a diagnostic. It serves as a tool that gives us real-time information about where our students are, allows our teachers to use that information to plan lessons, intervene for students. And like I said, currently we're using iReady for grades 9 through 12. What we're proposing is we're going to extend the contract for 1 year, but for grades grades K through 8. So right now it's K through 12, and we'll do a 1-year contract for grades K through 8, and then we're proposing to bring in NWEA. So NWEA is also a MAP assessment, but it's more suited for high school. iReady only goes up to grade 8. So the high school has been using it, but it doesn't cover grades 9 through 12. So we will continue to use it. It's a great tool for what it's meant to be used for. So for grades K through 8, excellent tool, but just not the best tool for high school. So we'll be proposing to do a 1-year contract with NWEA.
Got it. Questions? Okay, hearing none, then with that, we'll go to call for closed session. So I'll make the motion resolve that the Oak Park Board of Education goes into closed session pursuant to Section 8C of the Open Meetings Act for strategic discussion regarding collective bargaining agreements. Support. Motion made, seconded by Trustee Corcoran. Motion made by myself. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Madison?
Yes.
Alvin?
Yes.
Hoda?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
And Cochran.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry, I said yes.
the motion passes, and we're hereby ready to go into closed session.